Hi, I'm Krista Jacobson, headmistress of the Budokai, where we teach authentic ninjutsu and classical samurai bujutsu. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's the ancient martial arts of the ninja and samurai. In today's video, we're going to talk about 8 ninja evasion techniques. Now, these 8 techniques come from the Bansen Chukai. Now, the Bansen Chukai was written in 1676 by Fujibayashi Yasutake, and it is known as the Bible of Ninjutsu. Now, before we start talking about historical ninjutsu, I always give a shout out to all of my new viewers. So if this is the first video that you guys have seen of me, my name is Krista Jacobson. I'm the headmistress of the Budokai, which means School of the Warrior Way. We teach Koryu Ninjutsu and Koryu Bujutsu, so the ancient martial arts of the ninja and samurai. This organization does have other areas of focus, such as reality-based self-defense, weapons training and tactics, survival skills, martial arts theory, thought, and philosophy, martial arts conditioning. If any of these topics interest you at all, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and don't forget to click the bell. I do post 2 to 3 videos every single week. So if you're interested in any of those topics, please subscribe, click the bell, and keep up with what we're doing. So today we're going to be talking about 8 specific ninja evasion techniques that come from the Bansen Chukai. Now, for all of you guys who study the ninja martial arts, you guys know that the evasion techniques are called Tanjutsu. There's lots of different jutsus within ninja martial arts, and the jutsu that we're talking about today is Tanjutsu, or the art of evasion. Now, I'm sure right now a lot of you guys are already coming up with many types of evasion techniques that the ninja could have used or would have used at that time in history. I will say that in this section of the Bansen Chukai, Fujibayashi Yasutake does not talk about the use of shuriken as a form of evasion, nor does he talk about the use of metsubushi as a form of evasion. Now, as all of you guys know, the ninja was an expert in guerrilla warfare. Their job was specifically in the field of espionage, spying, information gathering, assassination, disruption, destruction, and deception. However, there were times that the ninja got caught in combative situations, which is why the ninja had to learn how to fight. However, there are times where the ninja did not need to fight. It was better for them to evade. It was better for them to run away, evade, and flee from danger. Now, I'm going to go through these 8 techniques really quick, but to be honest, every one of these 8 things I'm going to talk about could actually be a video in itself. So if you guys would like me to do demonstrations on all these 8 techniques, make sure that you put that in the comment section below and let me know if that's something that you guys would like to see. So here are the 8 ninja techniques of evasion. Technique number 1. Tanuki Noki. Now, Tanuki Noki is a technique used when you are being pursued by an enemy and they're trying to cut you down with a sword. So when you're running and you're running as fast as you can and the person that's behind you is actually closing the gap, they've got their sword drawn and they're getting ready to cut you down, the technique of Tanuki Noki is to drop to your knees as fast as you can as soon as they get close. And when you drop to your knees, their momentum is going to get them moving forward. They actually trip over you, and as soon as they hit the ground, you draw your sword and cut them down. Now, although there are different variations about this particular technique that's talked about within the text, this is kind of the idea of Tanuki Noki. You're running as fast as you can, but your speed is not enough. When the enemy gets close and they're getting very close to cut you down, drop to your knees, they trip over you, you draw your sword, you cut them down. Technique number 2, Hyakurai-ju. Now, Hyakurai-ju is the use of firecrackers. Now, I want to make sure that we're really clear. When people talk about the ninja using firecrackers, they're not talking about the things that we buy here in the United States for the 4th of July, like these little things that just, pop, like, that type of thing. That's not what they're talking about. Hyakurai-ju, these are massive fireworks, right? They're made to create some sort of explosion, a huge boom, and it's supposed to sound exactly like a musket, the type of firearms that was used at the time. Now, there are different techniques written in the text on how to use them, but one of the techniques that I find most interesting, it says that when you're using the technique of Azura Gakure, or quail hiding, and the enemy is close, you can use Hyakurai-ju and you can light them and throw them into a nearby bush. By doing so, it's going to start making a disruption. The enemy samurai is going to think that there's some sort of raid coming at them, and then they're going to flee or they're going to try to intercept. This gives you an opening to be able to evade. So this is just another opportunity that the ninja used to use deception to create an opening to evade from their enemy. Number 3, Makibishi. Now, Makibishi is the use of caltrops. Now, there are lots of different types of caltrops that we see throughout the feudal era Japan, whether that's bamboo caltrops, metal caltrops, etc., etc. There's lots of different types. But basically, the theory of this particular technique is as you're running and you're being pursued by the enemy, you throw your caltrops on the ground, and then they'll step on them, stumble, and then they'll fall. As you guys know, caltrops are those little spikes that when they throw them down, no matter how it falls, there's always going to be one end up and someone's going to step on them. Now again, there are lots of other techniques that the ninja used caltrops for, specifically for evasion. But the most common use is as they're running and the enemy is chasing them down, they would take the caltrops, they would throw them down, and the enemy would step on them and then fall down, and this gives the ninja an opportunity to evade and flee from danger. Number 4, suitan. Now this is a technique that's the use of water. Kinda. This is more of using suitan in the sense of kyojutsu than it is actually using suitan. Of course, if you're next to a waterway, the ninja could always jump in the water and swim away or float down the stream, river, whatever, right? However, this technique is as you're being pursued and you're next to a waterway, you pick up a large rock or a large piece of wood and you throw it into the river. What this does, it makes a big splash. The enemy would then think that you jumped in the river, and that gives you an opening to then run the opposite direction. Now this particular technique has been written in multiple different sources and is actually documented in different incidents within Japanese history. So we know at some level this was used multiple times. I don't think this is a technique that you could use if they could actually see you. So this has to be a technique to where when you're running away and you've got a little bit of distance on them, but you know they're going to be coming up, you could take something large, throw it in the water, make them believe that you jumped into the water, the stream, the whatever, and then they'll go that way and you can kind of pursue another direction. Number 5, Henzo Jutsu. So Henzo Jutsu is the art of disguising yourself as something else. Some people call this a Bakemono Jutsu or Bake Jutsu, or you talk about the Nanabake or the 7 disguises, or Kage no Kamae is another thing that some of the different traditions talk about. But basically this is disguising yourself as someone else in the situation. Now in the text it talks about if you're being pursued by someone and you're in a kind of an environment where there's lots of people and someone yells, that person's a thief, or stop them, or something like that, ninja. You turn around and you look at them, and then you look around and then you pretend like you're not the thief, you're not the ninja, and then you point the direction they are and say, there's the ninja, there's the thief. You just pretend like you're one of the common people in the area. All the other people around you won't pick you out as the ninja. They're gonna look where you're pointing because the person back behind you is pointing a direction. You look at them and you look that direction and you point that direction. Well, everyone else is gonna be looking around too. And that creates an opening, a gap in the situation. It gives you an opportunity to evade and again flee from danger. Number 6, having the doors closed. Now in the text it does discuss about how ancient times when a fight would break out inside the castle, people would run to the guards and say, close the doors, don't let anyone out, a fight has broke out, or there's been some sort of disruptance inside the castle. By doing so, the guards would immediately shut the doors and then they would go tend to whatever the fight was or whatever the disruption was. This gives an opportunity for the ninja to be able to evade, because if they can shut the doors, they feel that they're safe. Everyone will go to whatever disruption that you're saying is, and then they'll find out it's really not a big deal, but that gives you that gap, that opening for you to evade. Number 7, having the gates opened. Again, in the text, Fujibayashi talks about in ancient times, you could also make a big announcement and say, open the gates, the Lord needs to leave now, it's urgent, it's urgent. Well, the people at the gate's going to naturally open the gate because they're going to believe that the orders are true. So both of these techniques, whether you're having the gates closed or having the gates open, obviously you're using disguise. Obviously you're dressed in a way to where the guards at the gate, whether they're opening or closing, do believe you to be a person of position, to where if you say close the gates, there's a fight, they close them, they'll go deal with the fight, but then that allows you to leave, allows you to evade without anyone really messing with you. Or open the gate, the Lord needs to leave now, this is an urgent matter, well then they just open the gates. So there's more to it than what's just written in the text, but nonetheless, these are historical techniques that the ninja used to evade. Number 8, Tanuki Gakure and Kitsune Gakure. Now these two techniques are found within the Angyo Jutsu training, or hiding techniques of the ninja. Now Tanuki Gakure means like raccoon dog or badger hiding. This technique is when the ninja would be pursued by an enemy and they would run up a tree as high as they can. Of course they would want to use a tree that's a lot of foliage, a lot of leaves, and really thick, and they can hide up in the trees and the pursuing enemy samurai would not be able to see them. Now Kitsune Gakure means fox hiding, and this is another technique with the use of water. Now this technique is used when, as you're being pursued, you jump into the water when you see lots of like natural hollows and holes within there, and you can hide within a hole. You take a bunch of the weeds and the water weeds and things like that, and you stick it on your head and around your face, and you just kind of blend into the surroundings. You kind of camouflage yourself. Now again, this is supposed to be done when you're running next to a waterway. You see that there's kind of holes or hollows naturally made within nature. It gives you a sense of cover. It gives you a sense of concealment, and you camouflage yourself with those weeds as you jump into the water. This is an example of how to utilize Kitsungakure. So there's the 8 techniques of ninja evasion found in the Bansen Shukai. Again, the Bansen Shukai was written in 1676 by Fujibayashi Yasutake, and it is known as the Bible of Ninjutsu. Now, if you guys are interested in English version of the Bansen Shukai, that book is called The Book of Ninja. It's written by Anthony Cummins and Yoshi Miname, and all the information on this particular book is below in the video description. If you enjoyed today's video, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I do post 2 to 3 videos every single week. And if you guys are interested in training in authentic ninjutsu and classical samurai bujutsu, please check out my website at budoryuninjutsu.com. There you guys can see the 7 traditions, the different skills, principles, and philosophies that we teach. If you don't live next to one of our schools, you can always join the Budoryukai online ninjutsu dojo and start training with us that way. So thank you guys very much for your love and support. I deeply appreciate it. Until next time, take care, be safe, and good luck in your journey of Budo. Bye.